Welcome to Against the Public for January 25th. We're off and running on our Friday card with a few winners already in the W column. All access customers, well, they just continue to cash tickets. Last night, running our streak to 27 and 18, a little mini run, 60% winners, plus 756 units won, but a 16 and 8 run on overall totals. So 67% winners there, 700 units won. And over the previous 30 days now, if we add that to the last 30 days, all access customers have enjoyed 1,852 units of profit behind 55% winners. That's number one overall amongst cappers with at least 210 plays. Hit the link below, see how we did on Friday. I'm Dana Lane. Thanks for joining me. Before jumping into Saturday's free play, just want to give all access customers a preview of what we're looking at on Saturday's massive card. And it is going to be the biggest card that we have had in a long time. And we'll start things off in the NBA. Indiana Pacers, San Antonio Spurs will tip off this time in Paris. 12 o'clock Eastern Time, 9 o'clock Pacific. Shaping up to be overall a massive 5-game card in the NBA, which means we're going to have a bundled 5-game package that you can get involved with. Get my best 5 NBA games for one low price. We know college hoops absolutely on fire. We look to add to that on Saturday. We're going to have a 6-game card in college basketball, starting with NC State and SMU. A 12-5 short-term run in college hoops, but a long-term 30-15 run in college basketball totals. Last 30 days, well, we've only hit just 61% winners, 1,796 units, 56% winners overall this season. Good for 1,979 units. In the National Hockey League, 13-game schedule. We're going to start things off with the Avs and the Bees from the Garden in Boston. 23-15 NHL run plus 928 units. And you know, in the NHL, it's more about the units than the percentage, the win percentage. So 928 units won over our last 38 selections. And certainly, last but not least, the NFL locked and loaded already up on Pickdawgz.com. 11 and run regular season that slid into the postseason, 11-1 overall run, including 8-1 on sides, 7-1 on totals. And of course, those records do date back to the regular season. Long-term customers, well, you're only on an 18 and 8 30-day run, ranked number one overall, 59.4% winners over the last 90 days, which is also good for the number one spot. So number one over the last 30 days, number one over the last 90 days, and players are just absolutely smashing the NFL. So make sure you get involved. Look to go back-to-back with number one finishes in the NFL. So we'll see how that all plays out. Every play is up on pickdawgz.com as we speak. That adds up to a 15-game massive super card for Saturday. All access players, you're going to have plenty to do on Saturday. Thank you so much so much to everyone who jumped on an all access pass today. And I also want to let everybody know that I've added a brand new package. It's a 3-day all access pass. So you can kind of, put your toe in the water a little bit, see what an all access pass is all about. You can jump on pickdawgz.com right now and get involved with that 3-day pass. We'll carry you all the way through the weekend, including Monday. And of course, the best package out there, the annual all access pass. You get every play that I release from now to this time next year for just $4.11 a day. So turn these free play winners, which we had another one on Friday night, these free play winners into long-term success. Okay, let's head to college basketball for our free play for Saturday. 607, 608 is your rotation numbers. Start things off 12:30 Eastern Time, 9:30 a.m. Pacific Time. The Pittsburgh Panthers take on the Syracuse Orange from what will always be the Carrier Dome to me. For those who grew up, not only around college basketball, but specifically around the Northeast area, you know how special Big East basketball was on Saturday. In this typical Big East Pittsburgh-Syracuse matchup, I always remember that. And of course, now they're part of the ACC. Really hasn't been the same since they made the switch, but still brings back great memories of watching Big East basketball on Saturday. Panthers 7.5-point road favorite with a total of 149.5. That's been bumped up from 6.5, so now at 7.5. Pittsburgh 12-6 straight up, 9-9 ATS, 11-6-1 to the over this year. They've lost 4 straight games, with all but the Duke loss coming as a favorite. They failed to cover in 5 of their last 6 games after losing in overtime to Clemson the last time out. 7 of their last 8 games have cashed overs. Syracuse 9-10 straight up, 8-10-1 ATS, 10-9 to the under. Cuse have covered 4 of 5 after that 5-game slide where they failed to cover any game over 5 games, but 4-1 since that streak. They too are coming off a loss to Clemson by 14, but they did cover a 16-point spread. I guess we're going to see what Pittsburgh is made of. A lot of rumors, if you're following Pittsburgh basketball at all. A lot of rumors, a lot that are not rumors that we could see with their own 2 eyes. An embarrassing loss to Clemson in more than one way. Of course, it was reported that a member of their coaching staff had a meltdown, or their coaching staff had a meltdown on the sidelines. Even one member, Kyle Siplecki, who used to play for Vermont, who's now an assistant coach, told one of the security guards to go after or specifically target a student who was saying, "Make some effing adjustments." You can fill in the effing, that's exactly what he said. I'm just quoting him. But he took exception to that, wanted the student removed. I guess the coaching staff has some issues. And many times you look at a situation like this, and these little side things. When we handicap, we put so much into numbers and trends and coaches and players and who's in, who's out. But these little things, to me, experiences allows you to pick up on these things and allows you to take these instances and be able to filter them into your handicapping. And this situation, to me, tells me we got one of 2 teams here. We have a team that's going to rally around their coaching staff. We got a team that doesn't want to be berated, certainly by the students in the student section, and just a team that you think will rebound. Well, you also have those teams that are like, yeah, I think there is a lot of problems on this staff and a lot of culture problems, and I think that's where Pittsburgh is right now. I think they're somewhere in between, actually. If I want to be 100% accurate with you, I think they're somewhere in between. Nothing a few wins won't take care of. But now that they got off to that great 6-0 start, they've been on a slide pretty much ever since. A lot of inconsistency, and now with the 4-game losing streak, I think there is a lot of frustration on this coaching staff. But it's not about the offense. It certainly is about the defensive effort. And the student that's jumped up and said, you guys should make some changes, I guess, to prorate what he said. That came after 4 straight open looks where the Pittsburgh Panther defense was non-existent, and really what he said was 100% accurate. For Syracuse, well, outside of the first 10 minutes against Clemson, they were basically blown off the court by a better team, a more physical team. They held the Orange down for most of the game. Once again, Syracuse continues to get in trouble when it steps up in competition. You can argue Pittsburgh is a step up in competition, although I would argue that they're probably closer than you would expect at this point right now, at least from a mental standpoint. This was the 6th time this season that they've lost by 10 or more points. Now, they only lost by 10 or more points 9 times last year. And speaking of perimeter defense, well, Syracuse was outscored 28 to 10 over the last 10 minutes of the first half against Clemson. They were forced to go to the zone, which wasn't great either because they were getting crushed inside as well. There was just no answers for the Tigers. And of course, you don't want to go to a zone against a team like Clemson, who is a top 3-point shooting team in the ACC. The one other point I want to make too, when a team gets beat inside, it was not about, hey, let's dump the ball inside, let them go to work, maybe get to the rim, get to the free throw. Syracuse was getting beat in the paint by getting beat off the dribble. If I'm Pittsburgh, I'm looking at that. I'm saying I'm going straight to the rim on Saturday. So to put a bow on this whole thing, we're gonna take two poor defensive teams, at least two poor defensive teams right now. 149.5. The odds makers are begging you to go under the total. We're not going to do that. We're going to go over 149.5 as your free play. Now, go to pickdawgz.com where that massive schedule is going to be up soon. NFL is up already. Every individual play, every discounted long-term pass is locked and loaded or will be, including that annual all-access pass that will give you all 15 games tomorrow and every game I release from now to this time next year for just $4.11 a day. I can't thank you enough. We had our biggest day since coming back doing daily videos. We had our biggest day on YouTube that we've ever had, and that is, I don't want to do this anymore. Elon Musk did that, but I just wanted to thank you for that. And I do appreciate each and every one of you taking time out of your day to watch the video. And I wish you all the best this weekend. It is a massive weekend. It is one of those weekends that is bankroll defining early on in the year. So make sure you do get on board. For Against the Public, I'm Dana Lane. All the best to you and your wagers on Saturday.